Good morning, folks. Another glorious night of sleep. We had frog croaking from the swamp over here, the sound of the river, sound of many, many night birds. Just lulled us off to a nice sleep. Caroline and I slept up top here. Sarah opting for the more sheltered enclosure down below. And early reports are she too had a good night's sleep, which is good for all of us, if you know what I mean. All right, let's get this day going. So I was down here in the woods performing my morning constitution and stumbled across something kind of cool. Check this out. This is a big old cabin. This was a nice spot right here. That explains the bed frame we found laying up there. Wonder who lived here. Good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
But we woke up to a pretty cool view.
I reckon.
Hi, Kevin.
Morning, buddy.
We're going to go to the Dinosaur movie.
Let's do it.
He's so excited.
Welcome back to the northern mountains of Utah. Today, we're picking back up where we left off in the last episode as we awake to one of the more beautiful camps that we've found in these hills so far. We've got a lot of miles to cover today, so nothing fancy for breakfast this time around. Just some pre-cooked chicken sausage and bagels with cream cheese. Oh, and coffee. Can't forget the all-important Go Juice. This is new territory for us, so we really didn't know what to expect on the trail. Our previous day's travel took us a bit too high in altitude, and we found deep snow blocking the trail, forcing us to backtrack and find a workaround. No complaints here though. This country has plenty to offer at any altitude, so we're just going to give it our best shot and see what happens as we work our way east, hopefully ending up at a place teeming with some prehistoric giants. Not far down the trail, we found proverbial Overlander gold, and the highlight for any kiddo on the trail, water crossings. And just like that, our day was off to a great start.
You like water crossings? Is it your favorite? Mine too.
Just around the bend, this wilderness upped the ante, and we were treated to yet another moose sighting. While we've often encountered these massive members of the deer family further north in Alaska and northwestern Canada, it felt a bit surreal seeing them here. These curiously shaped mammals can weigh in at 800 to 1,200 pounds when fully grown and stand 6 feet tall at their shoulders. That's not counting their head and massive antlers. We'll definitely be staying aware of our surroundings with these big guys in the area, since an unexpected run-in with a mother moose or aggressive male could get sideways real quick. And speaking of big wildlife, we got another reminder just a few miles down the trail about another critter we share these woods and meadows with. This set of tracks was left by a fairly decently sized black bear. From the looks of it, it seems like this one had crossed the muddy section not too long before we arrived. The water disappeared. It's gone. Look at that. Where did the water go?
Is there another sink?
Must be another sink or cave or something. Man, that was a pretty good little stream.
Yeah, it was.
Wow. You ready for the next leg of the adventure?
We're going next.
First, we're going to go to Flaming Gorge,
Anything else there?
and then to the Dinosaur National Monument.
Yes!
Yeah!
Dinosaur National Monument!
Ready?
Roar!
Should be able to just drive, right?
Lunchtime.
What is it?
Chicken salad that I made myself.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh, that looks good.
it's gonna be good.
Little rap action over here. Trying to get Sarah to bust a rhyme and go along with it. Whew, all right. Well, that was tasty. That was good. Now, before we get back on the trail, I want to come over here and ask Mr. Mike Hollis a little bit about this low-key,
Very vanilla.
very basic
Blends
build.
in.
Yeah,
Blends in
blends in. Yeah. No, wow. Look at this thing. I've been lusting over it just a little bit as we've been riding on these trails today. So, what all have you done? So, like, I know there's a lot to cover. So, just real quick, what's under the hood? Because this does not sound like a regular Jeep.
No, it's not. This originally, we're talking about the Jeep bike. This was originally a 2020 Rubicon Gladiator, and has morphed into a little bit more than that. So now there's a Hemi under the roof, and this is kind of a house that Terraflex built. So we've got new axles, new shock system, long arms in the back. Now we have about 36 gallons of fuel capacity, which has been a game changer. We haven't had an ounce of problem with it, and it is, especially like at an elevation like we are right now, I can be fully loaded, fully wet, so water, fuel, food, clothes, everything, and it doesn't skip a beat, which is a big difference from when we rolled off the lot.
I remember the first time you took it out, you're like, I need to do something.
Oh yeah, it was like uphill, headwinds, everything that we ever did.
Yeah.
Especially elevation, it was tough, but now it's dialed in.
Awesome.
It's doing awesome.
Oh, man, this thing is quite the beast. And what's its name again?
This is Beastie.
Beastie.
This is Beastie. Yup.
Awesome. Very, very cool. After several hours on the trail, it was time to pound pavement to one of the highlights of this adventure. Now, I'd say we did this as a treat for Hunt and Caroline, but the truth of the matter is, I had been waiting to visit this place since I was about 4 years old. So, without further ado, welcome to Dinosaur National Monument. Now, while it would take an entire documentary to cover the history of this landmark, our focus for this visit is all about the fossils. In 1909, a paleontologist by the name of Earl Douglas made his way to this region on a mission from the Carnegie Museum of Natural History.
This is crazy.
I know, we're actually at the exhibit.
I know.
His goal was to find a collection of fossils for display at the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Museum. After a very long and grueling search, his team stumbled upon a layer of rock packed with fossils, and excavation began. Little did these folks know that this small portion of Morrison Rock Formation they had discovered would provide over 350 tons of fossils and became known as one of the most significant paleontological finds of the 20th century. Over the years, all shapes and sizes have been discovered here as researchers continue to explore its mysteries. In fact, new species have been discovered here as recently as the past decade. Some of the more well-known dinos found here include the Allosaurus, Apatosaurus, Stegosaurus, and what could be the Overlanders' prehistoric mascot, the Camptosaurus. In 1915, 80 acres surrounding this unique find was designated as National Monument and expanded again in 1938 to 200,000 acres by President Teddy Roosevelt to help protect the nearby cultural sites of the first people to call this land home, along with ensuring the pristine river bottoms of the Green and Yampa rivers would stay wild forever. Visiting this place simply boggles the mind when you consider what the world must have looked like when these giants roamed the landscape. And while I would have loved to have seen these beasts in the wild, I'm pretty sure it would add a whole new challenge to overland travel.
Alright, so which was your favorite dinosaur in there?
Stegosaurus.
Alright, well that was just fulfilling a childhood dream right there. Finally getting to see the dinosaur bones that I got to see in the TV shows, and I think it was like the Highlights magazines or maybe even Ranger Rick or something like that, but it was cool. Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. Now, we're back on the trail and heading up that mountain way back there is the plan. We'll see how far we go. But definitely got to air down. This road's rough as a cob. Tennessee saying.
So what did you think of the Dinosaur National Monument?
I thought it was super cool.
Yeah?
I wasn't expecting like that many bones on top of bones. You know what I mean?
And how deep did it continue to go? That's the other big question.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
Wow.
So cool.
I saw stars like a blanket. I saw people just like me. There was a light moving forward. I got the word and I got you. There was a song they were singing. There was a window to the moon. I saw life like a promise. I got the word and I got you. I got the word and I got you. I got a dream over my shoulder. I got love tied around my waist. I got a big imagination. I got the word and I got you. I got the word and I got you.
Where do you want me to go?
Pull straight over there for a minute.
Is it what you think it is?
hunting is my word.
Well, I think we might have found camp.
It's not much, but you know, in a pinch.
I mean, hey, the view's terrible.
I know.
So how?
You know, we're a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to epic camps. I think this classifies quite well.
There's space.
My bag's
I
gonna face
know.
the
There's
down way.
space.
Did you see the view?
I know, like you can see like you can see that. You can see this.
You can see for
And-
miles.
I know, and this is the perfect camping spot.
It's Perfect. amazing.
Like there's a fine
And look, we have a picnic table.
Yes.
We can all eat together.
And look
We
at
got
this.
so lucky.
Man, look, like you can see like for miles.
Yeah.
Look at that. Isn't
Yeah.
that
What is
amazing?
that? Let's see. Let's see where we are. There's no sun.
Ooh, she shakes me.
No, this is Kev's new fun time experiment. This will be my fun time. Do you have a pocket knife?
Cup
So I can cut this open?
I have a pocket knife.
I was waiting too. Okay.
Thank you.
What's in the bag? It looks different.
So I got a new cookbook for my birthday. The Sam the Cooking Guide Between the Buns. And one of them was a ground chicken buffalo burger. So it's got celery, buffalo sauce, green onion, and chicken and parsley. Yeah,
This
Should be
is
good.
your first time cooking on my little.
it is.
I hope you like it.
I think I will.
We'll see how it goes.
It'll be fun.
It's a little more stable this time because I went all, you know, Tennessee engineering on that. See, this way you get to keep warm while you cook.
I know. That's really exciting.
I thought you'd like that.
I do like that. Thank you.
I was thinking of you.
You always are.
What was that?
So I know a lot of you have been asking how we're liking the roof nest, and just a quick little update. The format, the size, the speed at which you can deploy it and close it down, 100%. If I had to come up with something that I'm not entirely pleased with, it's the fit and the finish. The zippers on the doors are a little bit funky, and so can be really, really hard to zip and unzip when it's cold, which is not good for the girls because they just don't have the hand strength that's needed sometimes. And then the seal on the outside sometimes just doesn't contact all the way. I mean, you can see a little bit of fabric peeking through here. So we've got a couple ideas on how to tweak it. Overall, though, I still like it. I just wasn't expecting those little quality issues on a $4,000 tent. That's my only complaint. But functionally, I love it. The fact that it doesn't have that big gull wing awning hanging off of it that, in my opinion, I don't think does much for the other styles, means that it's super quiet in the wind. The downside to this type of tent, though, is in bad weather, you're in it. Getting in and out of the tent, whether it's raining or snowing, you're going to be taking some in. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. So if you're a fast mover, like to get up and go and cover some ground, this is a good tent. If you've got a family, if you need to sleep as many people as possible, as comfortable as possible, the soft style is probably a better option. A good medium between those two is the iCamper style. This is the clamshell style that has the hard cover that opens and then deploys even further. I've learned a lot over the years using all these different types of tents, so I'll do a more official video on our take sooner than later. But I wanted to give you that. Probably not what they intended, but I put the shoe bags in here just because it makes it easy for
putting your shoes away, and there's nearly not a weatherproof spot out here for them. The stitching that I was talking about, this makes it difficult to zip, and this side's even worse. I'd zip it up, but it gets too dark. I'll have to show you that in another video. But other than that, that kick out is spectacular. I'm 6'3", and it gives me lots of extra room.
Chicken thighs, so that it would be a little fatty.
Let's see what we got.
You want to taste that little pinch?
No, wait. What is it? What is it? Oh, hi, sister.
Did you taste anything?
Let's go.
It's gonna be good.
Let's go.
Just so you know.
What all's on there?
So you do lettuce, burger, crispy onion strings, and then you drizzle blue cheese dressing. Yeah. Ready.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That looks phenomenal. Let's get it in us.
Let's eat. Oh, heck yeah.
The next morning, Mike and Ellen gave me a grand tour of their Jeep Gladiator build, which we'll be sharing in an upcoming walk-around video. I have to say this is truly one of the most impressive setups I've seen on the trail so far, and it deserves its own video. While we were at it, I also got the chance to have Ellen and Mike share a little bit more about their story and ongoing mission with Team Hunt.
Well, our son's name is Hunt, for those who don't know, and he is 12. He'll be 13 in October. And when he was about 1 year old, he was diagnosed with a disease called mitochondrial disease, which is an energy disorder. And that basically means that his mitochondria doesn't produce enough energy for his major organs to function properly. The mitochondria is the power source of the cells that then power the organs. So for him, it affects his GI system. So he threw up a ton at birth. And for some kids, it affects their brain and they have seizures. For some kids, it affects their heart. Most of the children that we've met with mitochondrial disease don't live past 5. They're in a wheelchair for life. They are in a feeding tube for life. And, it was definitely hard times at 1 year old. So we did lots of therapy. Hunt was in feeding therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, any kind of therapy you can have, you had it. And really, up until a couple years ago, he was still in some of those therapies. He just graduated from feeding therapy about 1 or 2 years ago, which you would never know watching him eat at camp. And so through all of that, he had braces on his legs and a walker. He finally started walking. He finally started eating and wasn't throwing up as much thanks to some medicines and his body growing and being able to handle that. And once we started camping outdoors, we realized, oh, wow, he is, not in a classroom where he's compared to others and, having to go by certain standards, but he is, he's walking and hiking and physical, which, lend itself to the physical therapy. Because he was physical, then he got hungry. So he started eating things he wouldn't normally eat before and just really started growing. The communication aspects of meeting new people. And like with Caroline, I haven't seen him play like this
It's been a while.
in a long time,
Yeah.
because he's out and that's your option. You meet people and you do things outside and there's no devices. So there's no TV that you can turn on or an iPad that you just go to.
Or therapies you have to go to.
Right.
Or therapies. There's no set schedule. So it's really just a time to be present. And we just saw him thrive. When we started Team Hunt, when he was about a year old, we started running races for kids who couldn't walk and run. So we do triathlons and marathons and half marathons. And it grew faster than we even knew. So then we started a fund through the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee to raise money for therapy programs, Make-A-Wish, the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital.
Families' needs.
Any sorts of families' needs. And also, it's not just the raising money and helping, but it's also the awareness piece. Because when we found out we had a child with special needs, it changed our life, of course. So as we started camping and overlanding and meeting new people and started, really Hunt found this whole world.
Hunt found this through Overland Bound and Lifestyle Overland. I think Epic Family too. He was really into monster trucks and RC trucks, and would watch YouTube to watch that, and the algorithm would work in his favor and start pumping in your videos, other people's videos, and then that's all he wanted to watch.
Right.
And I think there's 1 or 2 videos from yours and Epic Family that I think the stats are padded a little bit by Hunt Hollis because he probably watched about 20,000 views of it.
Thanks, Hunt.
Yeah, but we'd always camped.
Right.
But we had never done like this type of backcountry stuff, off-grid stuff. And so he is actually who found it and started thriving even more so when we started doing these type trips. So we felt like we found that 5th therapy, which was being in nature. And that's what this is. So this is purpose-built to allow us to do that, but to also evangelize how important it is for kids to be in nature,
for all people,
regardless of disorders. It's a mental opportunity to help your physical health, and it's been huge for us.
So we started, naturist therapy is our whole thing, and not just, it is for us as well. We get away from work and we get away from, being tied to our phones when you're off the grid, and it was just great for our family. It was great for him, and so now we've expanded. Team Hunt Adventure is now all about adventuring and being out in nature. Hunt's motto is be kind, be present, and do great things. So we try to live by that and look forward to the summers when we can travel and adventure. And we've expanded even more so into what we raise money to support, not just locally in Nashville or in Tennessee, but all over the country. So in Utah, for example, the National Ability Center, we have given some scholarship money because they will, not only for kids with special needs, but adults that have been in war or anyone that has any sort of challenge that would prevent them from hiking or backpacking, they can get in a Jeep and do it, or they can get in an overlanding vehicle. Or we went whitewater rafting with them last summer, and they will take, if there was a boy that couldn't walk and literally
severe
was nonverbal,
autism, epileptic,
and we got him on this raft
stuff.
And he just lit up.
Wow.
I mean, he couldn't say it, but he felt the water and you could see him excited, and it was just this awesome experience. So I'm like tearing up about it. In the winters, if there's someone from Ward that's lost a limb and they want to go skiing, they'll figure out a way to get him down the mountain. Wow. So there's programs like this all over. Telluride Adaptive Center. So now we're traveling, and as we go, part of our mission and goal is to find these places and support them and spread the word that those are options for people. And that's great for Hunt too, because he feels like he's giving back, and it's kind of become our family missions. And we've made so many awesome friends like Lifestyle Overland along the way.
We've helped their numbers for sure.
Keep it coming.
So we're Team Hunt, we're Team Hunt Adventure, And that's why we do what we do.
Awesome. Well, where can people find a website to perpetuate your mission?
So teamhunt.org is our website.
Okay.
We're on Instagram at Team Hunt Adventure.
Okay.
If you want to message us, that goes to me. You can write us if you know of a local organization in your area that is aligned with our mission. We'd love to hear about it. If you'd like to adventure with us, we love friends to
Yeah,
come
we
along
love
with
meeting
us.
up people and spreading the word. That's the goal here.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for giving us a tour, explaining what you're all about, and more importantly, thanks for your friendship. It's been awesome knowing you guys.
Thank you. It's
Thanks,
been
man.
awesome.
Glad we can finally make this happen.
Finally!
Yes.
Finally!
Alright, so we got you.
I love that hat. That's amazing.
Unfortunately, our time with these fine folks came to an all too early end, and we had to say goodbye to our friends for now. As we parted, it struck me how inspiring and encouraging it is to know people who have been through a long list of struggles, late nights, medical testing, doctor's visits, and daily hurdles which continue to this day, and yet instead of shutting themselves off from the world and focusing inward on their own problems, they have instead turned a challenging situation into motivation for a mission to help others see and experience what nature can do for the well-being of us all. Mike, Ellen, and Hunt, we wish you well on your adventure. Thank you for being you and for sharing so much positivity in this world. I hope you'll take a minute of your time to consider ways you can help the Team Hunt mission. You can donate to their cause and learn more about this incredible family at teamhunt.org. Thank you for riding along with us, and until next time, stay curious and remember to leave it better than you found it.